people say, well, Pastor Keith, why are you doing that? And, you know, you should be preaching. And, well, there was preaching. There was preaching that you needed to hear. Because I don't think most of us have heard the kind of preaching as long as we've been up in church. And I wanted you to hear someone who was a reflection and demonstration of the black prophetic tradition. Because that's what our tradition is. He didn't sit there and cheerlead. He wasn't sitting there saying, can we go to dinner? Right. He wasn't sitting there saying, can we get a flick or a picture? He was sitting there with prepared statements and historical facts. He was sitting there to speak truth in the presence of power. And this is what we must continue to do today. Make them do it. Notice that's always been the mantra of our leaders, of our political leaders, black and white. Make me. Well, when we have, in other words, if I don't do it, it's your fault. So understand what that statement really means. If I haven't done it, it's your fault. Right. See, when they say, well, y'all got to know, if it's what they're doing is that's called blame shifting. They are the ones that can enact the policies and act the laws to make things different. Right. Now it is incumbent upon us, since they're not the ones to do it, that we have to continue to do what Mr. Belafonte did and speak truth inconveniently to their face. And anyone that you put in office, you can put out of office. But that means we have to get up off the rusty dusty. You know the rusty dusty is, right? All right, so we got to get up off the rusty dusty and speak truth to this power. Check. Are y'all still there? I hope y'all still there. So with that being said, we're going to give you the next installment of the black prophetic tradition, all right? And as we started out, we're going to continue in the continuation. I want to give you some contemporary lyrics for the black prophetic tradition. Is that all right? Can I give you some more lyrics? Okay, all right. Can you see the pride in the panther? It is said that every revolutionary act is an act of love. And this is an act of love. All power to the people. I said the P is for power, the A for action, the NT because now is the time to get it done. See, the H is for heart, and the E for effect, and the R hold it down at the end for respect. Who am I? A panther. Who am I? A panther. What I got soul. What I got love. What I got pride. What I want to be free. Raise your hands in the air if you feel like me. Who am I? A panther. Y'all ain't ready. Who am I? A panther. What I got soul. What I got love. See, this is the condition, this is the ingredients of the black prophetic tradition. What I got pride, and I want to be free. Raise your hands in the air if you feel like me. Can you see the pride in the panther as she glows in splendor and grace? See, that's who you are. Toppling obstacles placed in the way of the progression of his race. Can you see the pride in the panther as she nurtures her young all alone? The seed must grow, regardless of the fact that it was planted in stone. Can't you see the pride in the panthers as they unify as one? The flower blooms with brilliance, outshines the rays of the sun. Outshines like the sun, that's who you are. Shines out like the sun. Shines bright like the sun. Brings light like the sun. And then the chorus is repeated again. It shines out. It shines out like the sun. That's what you're supposed to be doing, shining out like the sun. Raising our children, even though the seeds are still growing, even though they've been planted in stone. That's the black prophetic tradition. You should be proud of that tradition. You should tell all your cousins, nephews, nieces, you should tell everybody about that tradition. Because we're losing it. at warp speed. And if we don't pull it back, if we don't get it back, it might be too late. We're so busy trying to assimilate into something that you can never assimilate into. Check. You're moving in neighborhoods, and you look up one day, you're going to see all kind of for sale signs. Check. And guess where you're going to be living? In a black neighborhood. Check. Oh, yes. Malcolm told you 60 years ago, you might as well make the hood better. And then you find out that the people that at the hood that you leave it, when we left Fifth and Poplar, the hood, 520 West Poplar Street. And I told my wife, I used to tell my wife sometimes, these niggas I had shooting the bass, they used to shoot the bass. They put a hoop up on the island out front of our house. Like, if these niggas don't stop shooting this basketball, come outside in the morning, beer bottles out front of your house that you didn't leave there. I said, man, we got to get up out of here. We got to be out in 5,000. You understand what I'm saying? I'm tired of this. You understand? We deserve better than this. That house cost $700,000 now. And everybody that don't look like us is up in there now. While you trying to get out, they trying to come in. So a wise person would do what? Stay where you at. Hold your ground. Check. Because one day, sooner or later, you're going to start getting letters in the mail. Hey, I'll borrow your house. Not today. Not today. How about this? I'll buy your house. I was going to call one of them one time, but I said, no, I ain't got time. He ain't even worth some, one of them. I wish I could say what I want to say. One of them people. Okay. All right. I ain't say nobody's name. Okay. One of them people. They try to scoop up everything they can scoop up. Don't let them do it. Maintain what the Lord has blessed you with, because it is valuable. If it wasn't valuable, they wouldn't be sending you no letter in the mail. Ain't nobody trying to buy something that ain't worth nothing. Right. Check. All right, here we go. Are y'all ready? Yes, sir. All right, here we go, y'all. I'm going to give you a text, and then we're going to take off from there by the grace of God. In Luke chapter 4, this is one of the great prophetic texts of our tradition. Luke chapter 4, beginning at verse 17. Well, in fact, I'm going to start at verse 16. How about that? Luke chapter 4, verse 16. You can turn there with me if you like. Let's just read this in our hearing. In some Bibles, it'll say Jesus' first sermon. It'll say his inaugural sermon, okay? But let's go to verse 14. What the heck, right? What's a couple extra? Y'all don't mind reading, right? So in verse 14, it says, Jesus returned in the power of the Spirit to Galilee. In other words, after he had defeated the devil. See, in our prophetic tradition, we understand that baptism is not just something that we check off. There are some faith traditions where you get confirmed, and then you do this, and then you do that, and then you have baptism. No, it's not a checklist. It means that it is a signification of an outward expression of an inward change. It is a signification of purification. Check. It's a signification that you have taken on a new manner of living, but that's not the end. That's the beginning. Somebody said the beginning. Baptism is the beginning. So many people say, I was baptized because that's what tradition has taught you. But baptism is not the end. It's only the beginning. Because when he was baptized, he had to go into the wilderness. Check. So in our prophetic tradition, we understand that we used to sing a song, how did you feel when you came out the wilderness? Because we understood that as a prophetic people, we had to take a wilderness journey. We used to understand that now we want to evade the wilderness. And you wonder why we have so many shallow people. Why you have so many people that will look you in the face and tell you bald-faced lies. Because they never wanted to go into the wilderness. Right. These are people, I call them, I think the kids call them, dusty people. Thirsty people. Come on, somebody. Simps. Come on, somebody. Thoughts. Come on, somebody. Thoughts. Come on, somebody. Because you can't make it through the wilderness. You need to thank God for your wilderness. The wilderness gives you character. The wilderness gives you virtue. The wilderness allows you to resist things that you might not want to resist. You understand that? So everybody want to get turned up and lit. But they don't have no character. And you got children. I see the children. The children are wilding out because nobody made it through the wilderness. Nobody made it through the wilderness. Soon as the devil came and he said, I'll give you this, I got that. That's what happened to Jesus. The devil tempted him 3 times. Said, look, I got this, I got this, I got this. What you want? I got reds, I got greens. Come on, somebody. Come on, somebody. Come on, somebody. What you want? What you want? I got LeBrons, I got Jordans. What you want? I got the Brazilian hair. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. What you want? He said, what you want? You ain't got, look, if you can't afford it, just put it on. You can buy your hair on credit now, right? You can credit. Put your hair on credit. Just give me $50. And give me $50 a month. And, we can do this right now. You ain't got to wait till you get the money. Come on, pray for me, Hannah. Pray for me, Hannah. I need you to pray for me. You ain't got to wait till you get all the money. You can get your hair done right now. Just sign these papers. I'm just playing. Okay? But we have not embraced the wilderness. This is why you wonder how people can turn their backs on you so easily. How these politicians can act like they don't know that the cops is killing us. How they can act like they don't know we got bad schools. They act like they don't know we can't get good jobs because they never made it through the wilderness. Can I ask y'all to do me a favor? Stop supporting these non-wilderness Negroes. Everything on their resume is sweetness and light. Oh yes, she went to yes. She went to Spelman, and then she went to Penn, and then she went here. But where's the wilderness part? That's the most important part. Now, we love some education. Ain't nobody more educated than us. Check. Double check. Ain't nobody more educated than us. But what makes your education valuable is the wilderness attached to it. You understand that? When I meet people, I want to know about your wilderness. That's how you can connect with me. I love education, but education without the wilderness is not useful. You're going to end up turning on the people that you should be protecting and fighting for. 99% of your black politicians, just what Mr. Belafonte said in that video. They ignore you. They act like you don't exist. They'll use you to get in office, but then turn like a rhino. But let's go back to the text. It says, Jesus returned how? In power and spirit. See, a lot of people have power, but they don't have no spirit. They got the power to make you infatuate you. These politicians say things, make you feel so good. That's power. That's a gift. But they don't have the spirit. When you come out, you got to have the power and the spirit. That's the black prophetic tradition. A lot of people can speak good, look good, put on a nice suit. We just love, Negroes got on tailor-made suits, and, they got them 8-button suits on. I don't know, y'all gonna stop playing. But there's no spirit. See, the spirit is where you get your compassion from. The spirit is where you get your compassion and your passion. In other words, you're sensitive to people, and then you're ready to fight until you get what you want for your people. The people can't handle a message like this because they want me to be rolling around on the floors. Hey, yeah, and when they have to have cops out here directing traffic. But when you preach like this, oh, I'm supposed to, yes, you, not just me, you got power. We all got power. You came through your mother's womb with power. That's the black prophetic tradition. Amen. He returns. See, in the black prophetic tradition, you go home again. When you get filled with power and spirit, you go back home. Amen. He went back to Galilee. He didn't say, oh, well, I got to go to Haverford now. Oh, I'm hurting somebody's feelings now. Oh, it's time for me to move to Society Hill now. Oh, where y'all at now? He said, and that's because we've been inculcated with that kind of teaching. When you start coming up now, you just get away from the Jed Clinton. Get away from there, Jed. You know, Beverly Hillbillies. Y'all all young and cute. That's all right. But we used to watch the Beverly Hillbillies. Come on, Sam. You know, they all young, Sam. They act like they don't know. They told Jed, move away from there. They said California is the place you ought to be. So load up the truck and then move to Beverly Hills, that is. So that movie star. y'all be trying to get as close as you can to the other people. And they ain't trying to get close to you, but you're trying to get close to them. But you can tell a lot about a person by where they call home. Now, home is not just a place on Google Maps. Home is also a metaphorical place, check? It's a place in your mind, a place where you feel comfortable. That can be home. See, the prophetic church used to be our home. We felt comfortable because you were dignified. You knew you was important. You knew you was somebody. And you also knew that them Negroes was going to fight for you. There's too many churches now. People are leaving churches in droves because they come to me all the time with a problem and a problem and a problem. I said, well, did you talk to your pastor? Oh, but we don't do that at our church. Oh, we don't have that kind of mission at our church. Oh, we don't do that about the prisons at our church. We don't go to court at our church. Then you're in the wrong church. You're in the wrong church. Because that's not our tradition. Our tradition is to do all those things and more. That's a good place to go. So he felt home in Galilee. Yes, sir. So in 2017, my wife, we was laid up somewhere, sit up somewhere, and my wife looked at me, she said, baby, it's time for us to get out of this house. She said, baby, she said, look, I said, baby, you ain't never lied. And we left Ridley Park and moved to 1001 Sunset Street, across the street. Now, it's challenges because people know, they come, hey, Pastor, you come knocking on the door, Pastor King, what's up? But being in the neighborhood makes you closer to the people. The people knowing the pastor's right there. The pastor ain't coming from Lav Rock. Y'all ain't saying nothing. Pastor ain't coming from somewhere. I met a preacher. I'm not going to say nothing. I'm going to get up off there. He lived almost in Maryland. Church in the hood in Chester. You want to know why we don't have the black prophetic? I said, how far away we are? I'm getting older going to go see this thing wrong. I felt my hair growing. I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. In a couple more minutes, we're going to be in Maryland. You don't want to be close to your people? That's not the black prophetic tradition. Our strength comes in our spiritual and geographical proximity to each other. Because if something go down at your house, it ain't going to take us an hour to get there. Or if you need to get here, it ain't going to take, you understand? There's power in that. Why do you think when you go to even a lower echelon place like Essington? How many of y'all know about Essington? You ever been to Essington? Tendercombe? You feel me, baby? You feel me? I go, there's a track it's called Manor Field. It's a half-mile track. That's why I go. I run around the track sometimes. I go to work out. But when you go over there, it's like 4 or 5 banks on one street. Check. On 291. There's a bank here, and there's what? Wait a minute. There's a bank there, and another. Yeah, because it's called a planned community. Their togetherness made them economically and culturally strong. Yeah. But because we don't want to talk to each other, we don't want to love each other, we don't want to support each other, so you got to go way far away from here. Far away from here to find a bank. Because they realize if y'all ain't going to be together, I can't give y'all no money. Right. Because y'all don't even love each other. See, in their communities, they're all together because the cops is protecting them, the banks is protecting their houses. They go in there, sign their name, get a loan with worse credit than yours. Not because they're a community. See, you wouldn't have the credit challenges that you have if we were closer together. You understand that? Thank you, Dawn. Thank you, baby. I appreciate that. See, there's a virtue in being together. That doesn't mean everybody going to do everything that you like. Stop that nonsense. We all grew up in households where people did things we ain't like. I didn't get my Fruit Loops. My big sister ate up my fruit. Nigga, get over that. You still talking about you wanted Captain Crunch and mama gave you sugar pop. Stop that mess. I'm still suffering, Pastor Keith. Nigga, go buy yourself some Captain Crunch and do your thing. You understand? You understand? Do your thing. Come on, somebody. But get over that. Check. So he returned. See, that's why you got to tell people, it's never too late to come back.
It's never too late to come back.
Only when the casket drops, then it's too late. But as long as breath and strength is in your body, you can come back. That's what you got to tell people. It's time to come back to the prophetic church, to the prophetic tradition. Not just what you see on television, or as Pastor Smith used to say, the television. But there's another dimension that's not on television. You understand? The realness that you get from being in person, where you can touch people and see people. That's our tradition. Our tradition is not television. It's touching each other. So he came back. Did y'all see that? Am I in the Bible? Am I in the book? And it said, and it went out fame. In other words, he became famous just for being with his people. You want to blow up and go up, be with your people. Love your people. Amen. Serve your people. Right. Fight for your people. Right. Go to war for your people. Amen. Amen. Something happened last night. It was a small thing, but small things can lead to big things, check. Right. All my brothers feeling small things lead to big things, check. Somebody said, listen. And I said to myself, because I have to have a conversation with myself from time to time. I said, listen, if this nigga gonna say something or start something, it's two things I don't play. With me or my family. You understand? I'm gonna put you in a Ziploc bag. Simple as that. Simple as that. You understand? There's two things I don't play. Oh, this ain't no punk church. You understand? Because when I was 19, I was jumping out of airplanes. When I was 19, so you can't be no paratrooper and be scared to hurt somebody's feelings. Okay. So this ain't that kind of place. You got to defend your people. Check. That's what's wrong with us. Because we let stuff go down, and I just forgive. No. Forgive this. You understand? Come on, somebody. You understand? Biggie said, I ain't gonna say it, y'all. They be making me do stuff. I had to pray for them. They be making me say stuff I ain't trying to say. I want to see them that Teflon, man. Teflon, them hollow points ain't nothing to play with. But see, it might take that one day to defend your people. You understand that? That's another part about which I'll tell you about. We used to have the deacons of defense. Y'all know about that? Look that up on your phone. Read about them. They said, we got this. And then they told you, don't do that. Why y'all doing gun buybacks? Oh, y'all quiet now. Who got the most guns? No, who got the most guns? Let's be real. Who got the most guns? Us or the other people? Who got the most? They got, I got a friend of mine, he told me, because he used to work with him, he said, Pastor Keith, them guys got 100,000 rounds of ammunition. They got 50 guns. They ready for whatever, they ready for the apocalypse. They ready. And then you come to the hood, the place where you need to defend yourself against all aggression, including ones that's in uniform. And then they're telling you, turn this in and get $50. Then they got a file on you because you done went up there and you got to answer all these questions. So here you are talking to an agent. Now they got a file on you because you went up there with your smart self and turned something in. And they said, no questions asked. That's a lie. They be lying. Watch this. Go out to Birmingham Township and tell them to turn their guns in. See what happens. How come they never have a gun turn in? Can we think a little bit? How come they never have a gun turn in? They out here killing. They doing mass shootings almost every day. You ain't never seen no white politician call for a gun turn because it ain't happening. They ain't giving up a bullet, let alone a gun. But we've been bamboozled. Turn this in. You need $50 that bad. You that thirsty. $50. No way. All right, here we go. Here it is. And he taught in their synagogues and being glorified of all. In other words, he stayed there with his people. See, I tell people, I live for the people. I could be different places. I've been different places, and people and this, that, and things could be happening. I could probably be living at another level and everything else. But that's not the people. I fight for the people. I love the people. I will die with the people. I'm not gonna die somewhere sipping on a what's the thing called? What's the one with the liquor in it? The tea.
Mango.
Mojito. Mojito is a nice little, mojito is a nice little thing, you know. But but I got to be with the people. I learned. It wasn't always, I told you, we moved to the suburbs and we did all that. See, you're never too old to learn. That's another part of the black prophetic tradition is we're always in a state of learning. That's why I told you, I asked for forgiveness for my sins for moving to the suburbs and leaving the hood. I asked for forgiveness for that. I repented of that. Check. So I'm telling you what was my life. And at a point in life where most people are set in their ways, I became very radicalized. You understand? So if you're 40, 50, 60 years old, you can still change. So when he came back to his people, he was glorified. Because you know why? The people want to love somebody that loves them. They want to love somebody that's with them. Somebody that's willing to live with them and that they can touch and see. That's the way it used to be. The people want somebody that rode in a Jaguar and then rode out and you ain't see him no more for 7 days. He lived amongst the people. You saw him every day. You could get in touch with him in a moment's notice. That's how it was for the Messiah, for the black Messiah. And as he came to Nazareth, which is the hood where he had been brought up, much respect due to the hood. Much respect due to the hood. I'm from 54th and Cedar, in case you don't know. Don't let this academic, don't let these books and stuff fool you. I'm from 54th and Cedar, the hood. And I had to get reacquainted. Because you know, sometimes you try to distance yourself and all that. And I was born in Mississippi Hospital to an unwed mother. Come on, somebody. The hood. He came back to Nazareth, where he had been brought up. In other words, don't lose your roots. That's the black prophetic tradition. So no matter where you go in life, no matter what community you're among, you never lose contact and touch with your roots. The hood wouldn't be so bad if we had people that were still in touch with the hood. Our schools wouldn't be so bad if people that used to go to those schools came back and gave back to those schools and went back to those schools and compelled those teachers to do their job. He went back to Nazareth. Am I reading the Bible? And it said it was the Sabbath day and it was his custom. In other words, another word for custom is tradition. That's why you need to tell your family, listen, y'all, we got to get back to our tradition. Y'all need to be in this space with me. If you call them and ask them to go out to Chicken and Pete's, they going. That ain't your tradition. You understand? If you want to go to Applebee's, y'all, I'm buying, we're going to Applebee's. Oh, what time are we going to be there? But that ain't your tradition. It might be a nice thing to do, but that's not your tradition. The black prophetic church is your tradition. Amen. So because some things happen and somebody did this, somebody zigged, and somebody said, somebody got the feelings hurt, you don't throw out the tradition. Amen. We're losing a generation. And this is a critical time in our existence in this nation. Because they're trying to literally eradicate us. While we getting... eradicate us. And I ain't telling you don't roll it up. I ain't saying don't. I'm just telling you stay focused. I'm telling you stay focused on your assignment. You understand? If that'll help you refocus. You understand? If you need to refocus, some people refocus different ways. You understand? So if that'll help you refocus, you understand? If you come out there saying, Pastor Keith, I'm ready now. then I ain't got no problem with you, okay? I ain't mad at you. I ain't mad at you, okay? But don't come out of that and don't have no focus. That's all I'm saying. Don't come out of that and don't have no focus, because that's not good. Check. You got some Nixon packs, that's your business. That's your business. But we need you in the army. We need you in the army. So it was his tradition. He came back to the hood. He came back with the spirit and power. All right? Are y'all following me so far? And it was the Sabbath, then it was the day of assembly. This is the day we assemble. Now, it's a whole lot of history behind that, but we ain't going to unpack all that. This is the day now. This is the day. So we need to plant this day in red, green, and purple, and black. This is the day. This is the day when we come together. And verse 7, and there was delivered unto him the book of the prophet Isaiah. He opened the book and found the place. That's our tradition. We open the book and we find ourselves in the book. Ezekiel 37, the valley of the dry bones. That's us. The Exodus experience, that's us. The political bondage of the Babylonian Empire, the Assyrian Empire, the Egyptian Empire, the Grecian Empire, the Roman Empire, that's us. Political oppression, that's us. So what makes this tradition different than other traditions, European traditions, is that we see ourselves in the scriptures. We believe that the scriptures are referring to us in the scriptures. And therefore, it hits us a little bit differently. Check. Which allowed our ancestors to say, before I be a slave, I'll be buried in my grave. You understand that? That's what we need to say today. Before I let these people come at my children, I'll be buried in my grave. Now I'm going to teach you 5 words. Next time you're in front of Miss Capoletti and Miss Feinstein, or you somewhere, the bank or somewhere, and they acting kind of funky, funky, because it's you. Because it's you. I'm going to teach you 5 little words. And you're going to scare the hell out of them. Watch this. Don't raise your voice. Be dignified, because they expect you to raise your voice, talk all out. Just, in fact, lower your voice. You sit in front of the teacher, somebody acts, whoever it is acting all crazy, just say these 5 words. The devil is a lie. To scare the hell out, because they think we got magic powers. The devil is a lie. Like, get that nigga that alone, because I can't sleep tonight. Leave that nigga's kids alone. No, my wife went down to the school district. Little black girl, Angelina's daughter, little beautiful little girl. She wanted to go to the vocational school. Because to be bullying our children over there. And they turned the other way and act like it ain't happening. So my wife went down there, and you got to buzz you in, because they got security. Because they're scared. So you got to tell them who's going to. So she told a little evil clerk, Dr. Carolyn Collins, and she called back. Dr. Carolyn Collins is here, and they buzzed my wife in. They should have never did it. They buzzed my wife. My wife went in there, and when she got finished talking, the little girl got her transferred to the location. All she wanted to do was learn how to do hair. That's the black prophetic tradition. You got to show up in spaces for your children. Anybody, any church, any institution that says it's black is not showing up, that's not our tradition. They just needed somebody to show up there with some courage and a reputation for not taking ish. You know what ish is, right? I can't say it because y'all sanctify me. And that's what happens. When we go to court, things happen. When we show up in certain spaces, things happen. He said, I'm going to find the space. I'm going to find the prophet, because the prophet is talking about me. That's our tradition. And it was written, he said, look at this. I'm going to get to the first verse. I'm going to get to the first part of his prophecy. He said, the Spirit of the Lord is upon me. In other words, it's not just upon all these people in the Bible. See, other traditions say, oh, it was on this one, and it was on Moses, and it was on Matthew. Y'all know those are not the real names, so I ain't got time for all those are European names. But it was on this one and that one. But, that's all gone away now. No. He said, the Spirit is upon me. When you go out, you got to say, the Spirit is on me. Today, I'm going to fight for these children today. I'm going to fight for this. I'm going to deal with this situation today. Why? Because his spirit is on me. And look at what he says. He said, I have been anointed. See, we believe in the anointing.
Yes, sir.
You'd be surprised how many people don't believe in the anointing. All kind of little manicured, pretty churches. Malcolm said, white nationalist church, they don't believe in the anointing. We believe that there's a special power that comes from God upon his people. It's called the anointing. To do supernatural things. To do things that defy tradition. Things that defy tradition. Things that people said could not be done. That's the prophetic tradition. You don't win when you win. You win when you say you're going to win. The scripture says, thou shalt decree a thing, and it shall be established. That's our tradition. People say, what you think going to happen? Well, it ain't what it's already happened. Somebody put a camera in front of your face. No, baby, it already happened. Let me explain to you. In the black prophetic tradition, sometimes you got to school some of these clowns out here. They didn't win in Montgomery, Alabama. They didn't win on the 381st day. They won on the first day. When they said we ain't getting on the bus no more, they already won. See, y'all don't know what a win is. A win is when you make a declaration. Now, it took 381 days for the win to manifest. But when them black people said we ain't gonna ride the bus no more, they won. When you start decreeing things, you'll start winning. Don't wait for it to happen. Start decreeing it. He said, this anointing is on me. This supernatural power is on me. He said, it ain't just in the Bible, it's on me. What? To do supernatural things. Look at this, and y'all know why y'all can't believe it, because you watch all them superhero movies. Come on, son, don't get me on that. But you can't believe the book. It's on me to do what? To preach the gospel. Wait a minute, here it is. To the poor. Wait a minute, hold up, wait a minute. To preach to the poor. Now, what you see on the television, well, poor people ain't got no money. They ain't got no money. I can't build no church with poor people. I can't have no ministry with poor people. Then you're not in the black prophetic tradition. The priority is the poor. Check.
Yes.
The people that's your favorite politicians, including the black ones, don't want to have nothing to do with the poor. So this book is a book that empowers the most vulnerable people. Amen. And in America, the most vulnerable people are the poor. You got a president in there now, Jim Crow Jordan. Don't act like it wasn't you. Some of y'all was doing the wobble to the wobble, wobble, wobble. Some of y'all was doing the Charlie Brown. Some of y'all was doing the Charlie Brown to get out to the polls. Some of y'all sisters was strolling to the polls and wiggling your little hips. For Jim Crow Joe, the man who did more to destroy black people for 50 years than Strom Thurmond or any other segregationist you can name. The man who gave you 3 strikes, the man who gave you the 101 cocaine dispatch, like Dub C said. Y'all don't know about Dub C. You know about Dub C from the West Coast? WC, they call him Dub C. This is Los Angeles. Y'all don't know about classic rap. Dub C said, he said a half an ounce of coke is a misdemeanor.
Yes.
1 gram of hard is fed time.
Yes.
He said he said Charles Manson can kill and live to see another day.
Yes.
But if you're black like Tookie, they're going to steal you away. Wow. That devil Schwarzenegger, he killed Tookie, but Charles Manson is still living. Yeah. How can you be complacent under that kind of leadership? And Dub C said a few other things in the song that I can't repeat because y'all sanctified. You can listen to it when you go home. You can listen to it. I got to look that song up. It's called This is Los Angeles. This is Los Angeles. But the point, these young people have brilliant analysis. Because we act like we are lost in this Alice in Wonderland. He said, look at the system. 100 to 1. He said half an ounce of coke is a misdemeanor. But 1 gram of hard is fed time. Schwarzenegger killed Tookie Williams, but Charles Manson, who's supposed to have committed one of the most heinous murders of all time, is still alive. So in our tradition, we deal with that. In our tradition, we value the little things. We value the little people. What has happened is we become like our oppressor. It's going to be quiet now. We don't want, if they ain't dressed like you, if you pushing, you know, you can be pushing the 300, they can be pushing the hoopty. And then somebody will come alongside you, so with your smart stuff, somebody come alongside of you in a Lamborghini, and then so as far as they're concerned, you pushing a hoopty. Check. Check. Don't judge people by their material possessions. Don't judge people by how they talk. Fannie Hamer didn't always put her attitudes and subjects together, but Fannie Hamer was one of the greatest warriors of our time. Queen Mother Fannie, if you don't know who she is, you need to find out. She was from the country. They beat her almost half to death because she was fighting for poor people. Never be ashamed of your people. Never turn your back on your people. That's our tradition. Are y'all still there? Yes. Don't, especially trying to impress other people. Because I don't care nothing about them. You understand? I ain't the one, okay? Can't you fight for me? I'm not the one. I'm not the one. Because I take the poor people and the real people any day over a bunch of bourgeois people that don't really care about us no how. He said, the Spirit of God is upon me and anointed me to preach the gospel to the poor. The word gospel in the Greek means euangelion, which means the good news. That not only, I was watching this, I'm coming to it, I know y'all ready to get your pieces, but I still got a few more minutes because they said 12 o'clock. So don't nobody be acting all funky. I watched the podcast, I watched we all got 24 hours, so we can all learn if you want to learn. So I watched the podcast, and this professor was talking to RBN, which is Revolutionary Black Network, one podcast I look at, and he was saying how what Biden should have been doing is increasing SNAP, increasing the benefits. They cut hundreds of thousands of people off of SNAP. I have SNAP, check. I was getting $4.51. You know how much I'm getting now? $23. Now, the blessing is we run a food bank, so I can get a little bit of food, it's just me and we don't eat that much, you know what I'm saying? But suppose we got 3 and 4 and 5 kids. How they gonna live? You don't think crime gonna go up? You don't think people gonna start doing things so they can feed their family? But this man, while sending billions of dollars over to the Ukraine, what y'all talking about? Why y'all quiet now? I hope I don't see none of y'all know Ukraine flag on your Facebook and all that nonsense. Them people are Nazis. You don't know that? I wish I could say that. I saw it. I don't have to catch myself. They're Nazis. America has always loved a good Nazi, in case y'all don't know. Do your research. We've always loved a good Nazi. Generations. So nothing is new. This man is just going back to the old, and they said they put a 1% cap on future spending, but not military. That's not our tradition. The Black prophetic tradition is the most anti-war tradition there is. That's why our black preachers are always co-opted. They get a little bit of money, they don't get a big church, and then it's silence. All these people got all these big platforms. How come they ain't talking about this? You think about it. They got these big giant platforms. How come they ain't saying nothing about the cuts to the poor people? How come they ain't saying nothing about how come you send all this money over here when you got people right here, including the veteran? I'm a veteran too. And you ain't doing nothing for the veteran, you ain't doing nothing for the poor people, you're not doing nothing for the people that need help, but yet you can help all these other people, even if they are Nazis. We can help them. Somebody got to cry loud and spare not. Jesus said, the poor you have with you always. In other words, meaning he wanted to tell his disciples, don't ever forget about the poor. Don't ever trivialize the poor. Right. Oh, you wasn't working hard enough. No, how about when they say at risk? You used to be a social worker too. The one if it was at risk. How about historically oppressed? So you got to redirect people. You feel me? You guys say, no, hold up. Let me just correct you. I just like to make an amendment. How about the fact that these people have been historically denied their share of the American empire? Right. They've been historically oppressed, credit-wise, education-wise. They didn't get Social Security. Their grandparents didn't get Social Security. So they lost millions and millions of dollars of benefits that other people got. So now we have to be honest about America. That's our tradition. You need to tell somebody. I'm telling people, but you need to tell somebody. Because people have this perception of what the church is. Choir, whatever. Because y'all can sing, come on over and sing. You can play. But our tradition is to speak truth inconveniently to power like Harry Belafonte did when he was speaking to Obama and Hillary Clinton. We need to learn to stop idolizing some of these people just because they got a title or position. Jesus said this, and I'm closing, in Matthew 25, he said, inasmuch as you've done it unto the least of these.
That's right.
That's our tradition. Not the middle class. No politician talks about the poor, they talk about the middle class. My fellow Americans. When they say my fellow Americans, they ain't talking about you, know how, because you ain't never been American. Check. Check. So when Johnson said my fellow, he wasn't talking about us. But he said, as much as you've done unto the least of these, my brethren. In other words, these are my people. He said, you did it unto me. That's how you have to feel. So when you see the brother, you see the sister, you know what I mean? She may be out of sorts. She got on a little short dress. She got this, she got that. She got purple hair. But that's your sister.
That's right.
You got to say something encouraging to him.
Amen.
You see the brother out there, he got a do-rag on, he's doing this, he's doing that. Sometimes I just say, sometimes I just walk past and say, good morning, gentlemen.
Yeah.
What? Good morning, gentlemen. What? Yes, good morning. You got to say something encouraging to your people. Sometimes you go through the drive-thru and you see the little black girl and then she hand you the hamburger. Just hand her $5. So baby, keep doing what you're doing. Stay focused. He said you're doing it unto the least of these, my brethren. When you go into the hotel and some of us like to trash you, some of us like to act a fool in the hotel. I ain't mad at nobody. Come on now. Y'all looking all sanctified. Room all tore up, and then don't even leave a tip.
Yeah.
The least of these. Did you know you're supposed to leave money in the hotel? I just went to go visit a brother in SCI Dallas. You're supposed to leave money in the hotel. Did you know that?
Yeah.
That's why you need to be in church. You're supposed to leave something for the man. Because that's a low level job. That's a job that's disrespected. You understand? When the men come, when the brothers come, the sanitation workers come through your hood, a couple times a year, you're supposed to go out there and put some money in their hand. Dr. King died in Memphis fighting for trash men. I call them sanitation workers. That's how he died, fighting for them. He didn't die fighting for these boule bourgeoisie people. He died fighting for them. So we have to learn, if don't nobody else dignify people, we dignify people.
Yeah.
That's why people are so gravitated towards us, because they know that if they get around us, they're going to find some compassion. They're going to find some love. Even other people, even Europeans.
Yeah.
Them people. They come here all the time. Pastor, keep this, Pastor, keep that. But when I came here, I felt something different. Yeah, because it's a different spirit.
Yeah.
We value humanity. We value one another.
Amen.
That's something you can be proud of. That's something you can talk about. That ain't something you got to hold your head down and tell people at the church. No, wait a minute, baby. Just cleanse yourself of whatever past experience you had. You got to go forward. Because our people got to continue to live.
That's right.
We got to continue to fight.
Amen.
We got to continue to push back what? Darkness.
Push back darkness. Amen. Yeah.
I told you all about the little black girl that was killed right here in Delaware County.
Mm-hmm.
So y'all think that's down south in Minnesota and Texas? No, it's right here in your neighborhood. Sharon Hill, to be specific. Coming from a football game. They say that we don't participate with our children. The devil is a lie. Y'all learn how to say them 5 words. The devil is a lie.
There's a lot.
Watch how people respond. Coming to be with their children. The cops hear noise. They hear what they think is gunfire. Pull out the gun, just start shooting. And 4 people get shot and a little girl, black girl dies. Years later, the judgment comes down. Probation. Not a day in jail. Probation. So y'all think that's just something on TV? No, that's in your own backyard. And I didn't see any. Now I done already been to the politicians and I done already expressed my sentiment. But there's people in office that have said nothing. Nothing about the judge. Nothing about the DA. I hope y'all don't vote for this DA again. I hope y'all don't do that. But some of y'all probably will because he's a Democrat. And Mr. Belafonte already told you the bankroll. And I'm not a Republican either, in case you think I'm not one of them. I'm a revolutionary. I'm a socialist. I don't believe in none of them. Okay? But some people have to be punished, right? Check. Ain't nothing wrong with punishing some people. You punish your child, if your child do something, it's time for them to get punished, right? It's time for them to get punished. But that was one of the most horrible, egregious things I've ever seen in my life. We've been neutered. We've been castrated, just like they used to do us on the plantation. When they used to take a strong black man and take away all his strength. That's still going on today. Don't let them take your strength. Your strength is in your presence. Your strength is in, don't worry, your strength is not in your pocket. That's going to be all right. See, when you start doing this, your pocket going to start bouncing up. But your strength, don't let nobody take that away from you.
That's right.
No politician, no preacher, no academic. Don't let nobody take your strength away. When it's time for you to open up your mouth and speak, speak.
Amen. Amen.
As much as them preachers love to stand in front of a microphone, nobody got in front of a microphone. As much as these politicians love to have a press conference, nobody had a press conference. That's horrible. And if you see them, say something to them about it. If you run into them, you see them somewhere making some little stumps, please say, "Excuse me, do you have a comment on the defensibility case?" Yeah, be the fly in the suit. Rock their world. Because people need to be challenged. That's our tradition. Now, when you preach like this, people get nervous. Isn't it amazing? Now, some of us have been, I wish I could say what I'm saying. Some of us have been all the bed with people. I'm sorry. Some of us have been to bed with people. Y'all looking all funky. You ain't know what they had. You ain't know they had the IV. You ain't know what they had. Come on, somebody. Come on, somebody. But you had an itch that had to be scratched. Come on, somebody. But you wasn't scared. You see what I'm saying? Where the fit? But now you're scared because the pastor telling you what you have the authority to do. I just showed you in the scripture. You already been knighted to do this. You ain't got to be a preacher. You don't have to go to Bible school. You can do this right now. We need you on the front line. Fear is the enemy of faith. You understand that? You can't operate in our tradition and be immobilized by fear. If it was fear, we'd still be on a plantation. You understand that? You'd still be going in the back door in places because nobody would understand to raise up. Yeah, some people got hurt, some people died, but that victory was won. But there's still more victories to win.
That's right.
And we can't do it without y'all.
Amen.
We need it, and we need you to tell all your homies, tell all your homegirls. Have your own little meeting, have your own little session. Do it in your crib. Do it. Go to the restaurant. I don't care. Just do it. Because our destiny is at stake. They're really trying very hard to eliminate us. Y'all know that, right? They're trying to wipe you off the planet. And if you don't return to this black prophetic tradition, it just might happen. That's how real it is. It might happen. Because people are selling out every day. Don't be a sellout. I need money. I probably need money more than all y'all. But I'll never sell out. I can look you in the face and tell you, you won't never see Pastor Houston somewhere sitting there with some joker smiling and grinning and telling me, "Yeah, I support him." The hell I do. Ain't that much money in the world. I turn down. I don't want to be on a commission or a committee. Because then you got to sell out to the people that put you on there. I ain't doing it. He was never on a committee. He was never on a commission. And I have a great commission. Go ye therefore into all the world.
Yeah.
I don't need to be on the next commission. All you need to do is accept your fate and carry your weight. Accept your fate and carry your weight. Don't worry about what you didn't do in the past. Today is a new day. I hope I was able to reach somebody today. Today is a new day. It's no longer church as usual, business as usual.